What is cybersecurity? Let's start with some comparison of a security in our home. നമ്മൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലൊരു സെക്യൂരിറ്റി, നമ്മുടെ പ്രൈവസി പ്രൊട്ടക്ട് ചെയ്യണം. We have to protect our wealth, health and our children, our family members and all that. So we use different level of security, different type of security at home. I just wanted to give you some example how we are doing at home. Then it is easy to convince you about like what is in terms of IT, what is cybersecurity means. So the very first layer of security what we are using at home, as we will be creating a compound wall and then we will be creating a gate and then we'll put a log, isn't it? If someone come into that will be our first layer of protection or first line of protection. അപ്പോൾ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് വീണ്ടും നമ്മൾക്ക് കുറച്ചും കൂടെ സെൻസിറ്റീവായി വീണ്ടും സെക്യൂരിറ്റി വേണം, കൂടുതൽ ടൈറ്റൻ ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ നായ്ക്കളൊക്കെ ഉപയോഗിക്കും അല്ലെ, ഒരു വാച്ച് ഡോഗ് ഉണ്ടാവും. സോ ദർ വിൽ ബി അനദർ ലെയർ ഓഫ് പ്രൊട്ടക്ഷൻ ദാറ്റ് നായ്ക്കൾ കുറച്ച് നമ്മൾ അലേർട്ട് ചെയ്യും. So that is another layer of protection, and still you want another layer of protection. There will be നമ്മുടെ main door നമ്മൾ ലോക്ക് ചെയ്തിടും. So and we will be having our privacy, നമ്മുടെ ടോയ്ലറ്റോ അല്ലെ നമ്മുടെ ബെഡ്റൂം എല്ലാം we will be protecting again with further doors and locks. And suppose we have some valuables at home like gold or jewelries or money, we'll be again putting it into a cabinet or a locker. So we have different layer of protection at home. And if it is in a flat or buildings, and then there will be a watchman, they will be with a logbook, he will be coming with and he will be recording it. A logbook will visitors in the details recording which flat he is coming, what time he is coming and all. So there will be alerting system like dog or a calling bell, or there will be logs which we can go back and check who has come, what time has come and all that. So these are all for the purpose of reducing our vulnerability or weakness through implementing some controls so that we can manage our risk very well. So ഇത് നമ്മളെ വീട് ഒരു depends on the position. Like suppose our house is near to a forest or a jungle, then we will be protecting for ഇഴജന്തുക്കളെല്ലാം വരുന്നതിനെല്ലാം we will be putting additional control on that. So the same way, like suppose if it is in near to sea or a riverside, or if it is on a railway track, or if it is in a high bandwidth, high road, or if it is in a supermarket or a shopping mall in the side, we will put some additional layer of security. So this is how we protect our home. So now coming to IT systems, we have a computer or a mobile phone or any IT smartphone devices. We have to protect. We are keeping a lot of sensitive information in it. Like we have a lot of pictures in it, we have videos in it, we have emails, we have medical records in our computer, we have bank details in our computer, and we have our savings and loans and sensitive files about our projects and all that. We have to keep our computer very secure. And computer is also like K-phone project and all that will be in a high bandwidth Broadway. So we will be inviting more criminals, cyber criminals, and we will be open to a lot of different world. If it is a closed network, if it is a Wi-Fi and all that. So it depends on the type of network we are using, type of facility we are having. We have to protect all our vulnerabilities, and we have to make sure all high impact and high sensitive and our values are protected. So cyber security is to reduce the impact of breach and to protect our privacy and to protect our values and manage the risk by applying good controls. My name is Raman Joshi. Last 32 years I am with IT. ഒരു ഭാഗ്യം പോലെയാണ് ഖലീൽ റഹ്മാൻ, നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം, വളരെ കുറച്ചു പേർക്കെങ്കിലും നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം, ഖലീൽ റഹ്മാനാണ് എന്നെ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു വെബിനാറിലേക്ക് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ കേരള മിഷനിലെ ഖലീൽ റഹ്മാനാണ് എന്നെ ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്തത്. അതിനുശേഷം ഡോക്ടർ സന്തോഷ് ബാബു സാർ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. I would like to appreciate his courage and his willingness to take me into this level. And thank you very much for KSITIL ന്റെ എല്ലാ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾക്കും ഇൻക്ലൂഡിങ് യുവർ ISP ലൈസൻസ് യു റീസെന്റ് ഗോട്ട് ഇറ്റ് എന്റെ നന്ദിയും ഭാവുകങ്ങളും നേരുന്നു. അതോടൊപ്പം ഖലീലിനോടും സന്തോഷ് ബാബുവിനോടുമുള്ള സ്പെഷ്യൽ താങ്ക്സ് ടു ദം. And about me, a couple of things. I started my career as an IT faculty, and then from Kerala I moved to Dubai and I got ഒരു ഭാഗ്യം കിട്ടി ദുബായിൽ 2-3 വർഷം ജോലി ചെയ്യാൻ. അതിനുശേഷം ഒരു വേൾഡ് ബാങ്ക് ഫണ്ടഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ പ്രോജക്റ്റിലേക്ക് നൈജീരിയയിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഭാഗ്യവും കിട്ടി. അപ്പൊ അവിടെ നിന്ന് അവരുടെ ലിവിങ് സ്റ്റൈലും വെസ്റ്റ് ആഫ്രിക്കൻ സിസ്റ്റം എല്ലാം കുറച്ച് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞു. കഴിഞ്ഞ 25 വർഷമായി എന്റെ ലൈഫും ജീവിതവും ജോലിയും എല്ലാം ലണ്ടനിലാണ്. 6 വർഷമായി ഞാനൊരു ഫിൻടെക് കമ്പനിയിൽ, അതായത് ഒരു ബാങ്കിലാണ് ജോലി ചെയ്യുന്നത്, സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റി ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിൽ. ഒരു നിമിത്തം പോലെ എനിക്ക് എന്റെ ഒരു ഭയങ്കര പാഷൻ ആയിരുന്നു ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ ഇന്റലിജൻസ് പഠിക്കണമെന്ന്. അപ്പൊ ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ ഇന്റലിജൻസ് ഫോർ സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റി. ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ ഇന്റലിജൻസ് ഇസ് എ ഹ്യൂജ് ഏരിയ. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ദെയർ ഇൻ എവറി ന്യൂക്കഡ് കോർണർ ഓഫ് അവർ ലൈഫ്. And I just wanted to concentrate artificial intelligence on cyber security, and recently I was feeling very lucky to get a training from a short course from University of Oxford, and I completed that. And the aim today for KSITIL members to give a little bit idea, a little bit awareness, a spark in how we can protect ourselves, our home, our children, our relatives, our job, and our IT system. And what is the criminals, cyber criminals psychology, what they are looking for. So if we know what is their psychology, we can easily protect that. And then also to find out like whether you have, other than, if we make any mistake, other than our own protection, do we have any external support? How our legal system is protecting us? How can a local government or a central government can protect us? So these are the things we are going to give a little introduction on that, and then you will be able to explore that, and I'll be always there to help you more about that, because it is a huge area, cyber security. I'm just going to give you some basic concept and basic idea so that you can expand it. So ഞാനിതിൽ ഒരു assumption വെക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, because if I wanted to know about a technical knowledge, or if I wanted to know about COVID or a science or economics situation in a different country, I just follow some panel, some series of way which I can get the idea. The very first thing I will do is I'll go to Google and search that. I will read through about that particular subject. If I wanted to know about a particular medicine item, I will be reading through Google, and then if I get interested on that, and if I wanted to know more about that, the next stage is I will be going to YouTube and search for any speech or any video about that particular content available. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ വായിച്ചിട്ടോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് കേട്ടോ അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ കണ്ടിട്ടോ അതിനെപ്പറ്റി ഒരു ഐഡിയ കിട്ടി, I'm still more interested on that, I'll be talking to an expert or a consultant. So ഈ കൺസൾട്ടന്റോ എക്സ്പെർട്ടോ ഒക്കെ നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലുള്ള മെമ്പേഴ്സോ നമ്മുടെ മക്കളോ ബ്രദേഴ്സോ ആയിരിക്കും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ പേരൻസ് ആയിരിക്കും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ ലൈൻ മാനേജറോ നമ്മുടെ ബോസോ ആയിരിക്കും. So we will talk about that more and grab more their opinion also, share that information, and it will not stop there. Then we will start implementing that. So that is my way of that, like implement in life and then practice that in life. And once I get more confidence after practicing, there is one more step. I'll be sharing that information with those who don't know about that. So Google it, YouTube it, practice it, then share it. This is the way I learn, and I know most of us are learning. So I'm using this terminology or this assumption throughout this webinar. Before going to the content, I would like to put a legal disclaimer. Content of this webinar is just for training purpose only. Nothing to hurt any individual or any system. If you feel anything disturbing, please let me know. There is nothing wrong in sharing this content to any training purpose. Thank you. So let us get into the first slide, which I would like to give something about the content. We are going to discuss about password, some myth about password, some funny things about password, and there are so many questions about how do we create strong passwords and things like that. Then we will discuss a little bit about email, like phishing, and we all know how do we find out what is a phishing email, how do we separate it, how do we know our emails are already breached with some other company. So many data is breached and all that. Are we involved in it? How we can check that? Where do we start our security? How do we start security? And the next topic is my favorite one, is cyber policing. How do we become a cyber police? What is cyber police? What is our responsibility to ourselves, our community, our family, our job? And how do we become a cyber police? Then I will give some tip about career growth in cyber security if you are interested, and what are the support available from government agencies, third parties, and all that, and how do we go forward. So something we need to know about is cyber criminals are using advanced technology like ourselves. So there are artificial intelligence, there are government supported cyber criminals. We know different countries like North Korea or Russia and all that, the recent developments, and there are state supported cyber cells are working against it. So we need to know what is their psychology. So very first point about that is, before criminals, whether it is cyber criminals or other criminals, their aim is to grab big money from a single person or grab big values from a single source. Now they changed that strategy. So they want small money. They want 1 rupees. 1 rupees from 1 crore people. The scope is 100,000 people or 1 million people or 10 million people. So their policy is small amount from large scope of people. So we have to be very careful about that. And another thing is, we all heard about ransomware. Ransomware is a sort of threat which is coming to India soon. This is what all the technical giants are explaining, that one of the threats India is going to face is ransomware. We have to be prepared for that. So once we are ready, that once we are okay with that, how to protect from ransomware, it will be easy to defend. So we have to expect a breach, basically. So let us get into passwords. I put this heading purposefully, password is our brilliance, because when I was saying about different layers of security for our home, our compound wall undakkum, adu kazhinju dog undavum, adu kazhinju locks undavum, doorbell undavum, idellam different layers of security. We even protect our slippers okke cherippokke purathu varumba bacteria kadakkadirikkan purathu veedine puratittu varanam, or we had to wash our hands and all that. These are all different layers of security, especially covid inde samayathella nammal soap upayogichu wash cheyyunnathu 20 seconds ubhayikkanam, idellam paranjirunna. So in terms of IT, the first layer of security il varunnathanu, first layer of security is username and password. So in a different layer of security വരുന്നതിനെ നമ്മൾ പറയുന്ന technically പറയുന്ന word defense in depth എന്നാണ്. So we are getting deeper and deeper, and so many layers are there. First layer is password. So password we will be giving with the username and password. Why I am saying is username will be our first name dot last name, or first name with initial, or first initial with last name and all that. It will be very easy to recognize that principle, that person. So അതിനെ നമ്മൾ ടെക്നിക്കലി പറയാം പേഴ്സണലി ഐഡന്റിഫയബിൾ ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ, PII, പേഴ്സണലി ഐഡന്റിഫയബിൾ ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ആണ് നമ്മൾ യൂസർ നെയിം ആയിട്ട് കൊടുക്കുക. നമ്മുടെ ഇമെയിൽ അഡ്രസ്, ജിമെയിൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഹോട്ട്മെയിലോ അഡ്രസ് ഉള്ളവർക്ക് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഓഫീസ് മെയിലിനോ അറിയാം, വെരി ഈസിലി റെക്കഗ്നൈസബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു മനുഷ്യനെ മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്ന യൂസർ നെയിം ആണെന്ന് കൊടുക്കുക. ബട്ട് പാസ്വേഡ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് ലൈക്ക് ദാറ്റ്. Password should be a complex one, password should be a long one, password should be a difficult one. It never contains a personally identifiable information. നമ്മുടെ ജോലിയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മളുടെ അഡ്രസ്സോ നമ്മളുടെ പേരോ ഒന്നും പാസ്വേഡിൽ കൊടുക്കാൻ പാടില്ല. That is why I use that word, password is our brilliance. So how do we create a strong password? I have created another video for ITIL. I will share that with you all. How do you can create a strong and password which is easily remember. So there are some algorithms which we can easily understand and create strong passwords. So another thing is when you use a password, like your Gmail, you have one password, and then you have Office password, computer and login GN. Then you have password for your online banking. Then children, they may be using some passwords. So you have to support them, parent control and all that. So if you are using same password in all the area, that is a stupidity. Never use the same password in different areas, because if you break one password or somewhere it is leaked, you have to change all the passwords. You will be in a panic situation. You have to quickly change bank details, doctor's details, and all that. So never use the same password. Avoid using that. And then other thing is when we are using a browser, internet browser, നമ്മൾ Internet Explorer, Chromebook, അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ Firefox, നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു Gmail അഡ്രസ്സോ എന്ത് ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അത് immediately pop up ചെയ്യുന്നത്, do you want to say the password? So we will feel that, oh, എന്തിനത് ഇത്രയും എല്ലാ പ്രാവശ്യവും ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, so why don't we give the password save option? So it is a threat. Never use that option, because it is as bad as you are writing your password on your diary and keeping that diary on your desktop. Anyone who has got access to that browser or a computer, it is saved in human readable text format. The password will be easily readable. So never try to save the password in any browser. And also, we heard about OTPs, isn't it? Like mobile phone use ചെയ്യും എന്നിട്ട് അതിൽ OTP. OTP stands for one-time password. So one-time password, every time it will be changing. So you need to get hold of your mobile phone also to get in. So that is in general called multi-factor authentication. Multiple factors we are using it. So wherever it is possible, whether it is in your Gmail account or Office account or your online banking, wherever it is possible, start using multi-factor authentication. So OTP is one example. RSA Secure ID, there are some small piece of equipment. You can Google it and find it out. There are some of the things you use it. So another interesting thing about password is there is a myth like, can I write my password? Is it possible to write it? Oh, so there's a password writing is very dangerous. And can I share my password with my boss or with my wife? Yes, I can say that you can write down the password, but you can also share your passwords if it is a situation arises. But you have to be very careful about one point. You have to use one little bit brilliance about that. You cannot trust anyone. So in technical terms, it's called zero trust strategy. We will be looking at everything in ഒരു സംശയത്തിന്റെ നിഴലിലൂടെ നോക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. കണ്ണടച്ചാരെയും വിശ്വസിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. So what we will do is, if you wanted to write down the password, like for example, if my password is dim darigadom, and I wanted to write it in my diary, dim darigadom, I may be stupid. If instead of that, if I ഒന്ന് കൂട്ടിക്കൊഴിച്ച് dim dom എഴുതി വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, that is a hint. So which I can understand, which another person cannot understand easily. So we just make a little bit twist that and save it. That is okay to save that, because what I am trying to say is, one of my friend lost 3 lakhs rupees recently because he put it in his debit card PIN number behind the card and saved it in his flat, and he went for a holiday. So if your PIN number is, for example, 1432 is your PIN number, if you wanted to write it down, don't write 1432, write 1234. So what will happen? If someone taken that card and put it into an ATM, 1234, wrong. Again try 1234, wrong. Third time, it will lock your card and go. So you will be secure. So don't give an easy run. Just use your brilliance and try it a little bit of use brilliance and then change it. So the same way, like if you wanted to you wanted to share your passwords. Suppose you are in your office and you wanted to take some important content from your home computer. You wanted to share your password. You don't have time to reach home and bring it. So you wanted to share your password with one of your relative or your wife or your children. Or the other way, you are at home. You wanted to get some important information from your office computer, and someone is there in the office, your colleague or your boss, you wanted to share your password with that. It is okay to share. If it is an emergency situation, it is okay to share. But whenever you get a chance next time to access that computer or system, immediately change that password into a much better and stronger password. So that is all about password myth. Let's go to email. This email, there are so much of to discuss about email. And the very first thing it's coming to my mind is like what I planned for here is phishing. Phishing is nothing but നമ്മളെ ഈ ചൂണ്ടയിട്ട് ഏറിയിട്ട് മീൻ പിടിക്കുക. We give 1 rupees and we take 1,000 rupees. That is phishing. So it is exactly what we do in the river or water. So what these criminals are doing is they wanted to get into your computer and collect some data. It may be your personal information or your family details or your picture or a company file or information about what project you are working for, what is the commencing date of that, how much money you are involving in that project and all that. So in order to get that, they need to install some software in it. So all these Microsoft and the manufacturers of the computers are worried about how to block such phishing content or malware content to get into. So what they did is they just put that if you wanted to install something, we don't know whether it is genuine or not, but you have to click or single click or double click and give us the consent for the operating system, which is Microsoft Windows or Linux or Mac. You have to give permission. You have to give permission for each and every application to install on your computer. How? By clicking it. So what this malware or phishing people do, they trick the content which is written it. They will not say that we are going to install phishing things. We are saying that we are going to give you fasten up the computer, speed up the computer. They give wrong information and they ask you to click it. What is important is your click. So never click a link from unknown people. And if it is doubt, as I said before, zero trust. If it is doubt, don't use it. And also they may attach some files because it may automatically run that file if you click it. So never never double click and execute the file if that content is from an unknown source. And as I mentioned before, the criminals are also very sensitive. They may create an email ID like santosh.kumar.abc@gmail.com. So you may be thinking that it is from your MD, but you have to use your brilliance and think that is this email came before? Is it a wrong time? Is it a good grammar in it? So is it in a panic situation he has written it? If you doubt it, don't use it. Don't open it. Any attachments or any link. So, but how do you make sure 100% it is secure? So there is a site, there is a solution. It's called virustotal.com. If you go to virustotal.com, you can click a link and paste it and see whether it is a phishing mail or a malware, or you can upload a file into that site and check for virus. So I just wanted to give you a small demo, very quick one on VirusTotal. Can you guys see my VirusTotal web page? Can you raise your hands or talk to someone, please? Oh, great. Okay. Thank you. So this is VirusTotal website. I'm just going to click, create a link here. You can type put the link on the URL tab, or you can upload the file on the choose file option on that. So I'm going to give you a URL first. So I'm going to a spam folder, which I tested before. You can see that like this is a spam email on my Gmail. And you see that click if you are owed money back. So I'm right clicking, I am not single clicking, right clicking and copy the link address. So which one should be very sensitive. So I'm pasting that link here on VirusTotal. I will share this address with you. So you can see that VirusTotal is checking with so many agents, and the first 3 agents, they come that it is a phishing email and it is malicious and it is suspicious. The moment I get one red mark here, I will not use that. It is a clear indication that never trust that. So you can use the same way like, any virus, and you don't have an antivirus proper one, you can upload the file again. If you get any attachment, go to the file tab and choose the file from your computer and select it. It will say that whether you got virus or not. So it is a free virus, antivirus site and anti-malware site, very useful. So that is how we can easily control phishing. And then another thing is, we all heard about emails leaked, so many data is leaking. Oh, this bank has got some cyber attack and we lost so much of customers' data, or like KSITL, you may have a lot of customers and staff details. If someone penetrate into your network, it may lose it. So how do we check? Very basically, my email address is joshikr@gmail.com. How do I check my email is being there with any hacking group or any scammers or any unwanted people? So there is again a site called haveibeenpwned.com. So this site, you can type your email address or any email address you wanted to check, whether it is your family members or your boss or anything. So I'll give you a small demo on that also, how we can check whether our email address is there with any wrong person. So don't get panic if at all you find that, oh, you have been pwned. So check that when it happened, in which data group it has gone. If it is recently, don't get panic again. All you can do is go to that email and change that password into a better and a stronger password. So I'm going to give you a demo on that also. So the site is called haveibeenpwned.com. So I will share that address also, where you can type. So I'm just typing my email address here, joshikr@gmail.com. I know the result, but I'm just giving you. So see that, oh no, so it's coming in, it's supposed to be in green color if it is good, but it is found. My email address is with 3 bad groups. These are the 3 bad groups. Collection 1, unverified in January 2019. That is the last time my data was taken by some bad group. And through Dropbox, I hope some of you may be knowing about Dropbox. In 2012, my data has gone through Dropbox and online spam bot. This is a funny thing. Again, 2017, I lost my email. So 3 times my email was gone to wrong people. And the last one was 2019. Because I constantly look at this site, I changed my password and it is a little bit more stronger so that I don't have to worry. But I will check that if this date comes as July 2022, I immediately go and change my password. So that is haveibeenpwned.com. Okay, so yeah, this one is an important slide. I have to say every slides are important, but this one is a little bit more important. Most of our concern will be, oh, my computer is very slow. Oh, I don't have an antivirus. Oh, every time it is coming that update. What is this update? What is this patching? And we all have a starting trouble. Where to start? How to start? What to know? Oh, what is this Wi-Fi? If I go to shopping mall, there is Wi-Fi. If I go to office, there is Wi-Fi. If I go to my railway station, there is Wi-Fi. Everywhere free Wi-Fi. And some people are saying that Wi-Fi is bad. All those things. Where to start? So the very first point is, talk about it. When you are taking a drink, a coffee break in your office, or you are with a family gathering, talk about it. Or in your family itself, with your dad, parents, or with your children, or family time. നമ്മൾ സോഫയിൽ ഇരുന്ന് TV കാണുമ്പോഴോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഭക്ഷണം കഴിക്കാൻ ഡൈനിങ് ടേബിളിന്റെ ചുറ്റും കൂടുമ്പോഴോ we have to talk about that. So if you start talking and listening to others also, it is a very good starting point. And very first starting point is our internet safe at home? Or is a Wi-Fi outside of our home is safer? So this is one of the very good thing to discuss is public Wi-Fi is not safe at all. If you are going to shopping mall and you are typing your personal PII, your email address and your phone number and you get free Wi-Fi, don't trust that. If you're going to your friend's house, okay, you can trust 50%. But if you're going to a railway station, you cannot trust that. Why? Because in our home Wi-Fi, we know that there are some Wi-Fi routers and Wi-Fi devices, networking devices we plug in, isn't it? So we don't know the Wi-Fi we are getting free from outside is poisoned. For example, if you go to a shopping center, you type gmail.com for accessing your mail, and then you don't know whether it is a cloned Gmail page is coming or from a poisoned firewall there, or you don't know the genuine one. And so if it is cloned, it will be exactly looking like Gmail. You type your Gmail address, you type your password, you press enter, you will get an error message saying that the password is wrong, enter again. So when you type the password again, you will get into Gmail, you are happy. Oh, first time you might have mistyped it. So you get Gmail and you will be very happy to proceed. But you don't know that second time after giving the error message, the system is calling the actual Gmail and you are logging into Gmail. But first page was poisoned and they have taken your password and username already, it is gone. So Wi-Fi is a real threat. So you cannot trust it. And what is the solution? Use VPN. There is a small piece of software which you can available. I am using a Google One VPN service which costs around 1,000 rupees for 3 devices for my phone or my laptops. So it is an investment, good investment. Use VPN. So whenever you are going into a public Wi-Fi, untrusted Wi-Fi, you enable that VPN. And when you are on a safe Wi-Fi, trusted Wi-Fi, you can disable. You can disable it and you don't have to use it. So such discussions you have to start from dining table or any gathering and share your ideas, and then you will get to know more about that. For example, like if there is any free or a cheaper one and things like that, a better one, secure one and all that. So another thing is for security, cybersecurity, what all things we can do? The very first thing is update your phone or update your computer or patch your computer. And I wanted to give you a small example about patching. Again, going back to the previous example of our home, if our main door lock is faulty, we immediately call someone, a locksmith, and repair it. Isn't it? Or if we wanted to our windows, വിൻഡോയിലെ നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലെ ജനലുകൾക്ക് അഴികളെല്ലാം കേടായി പോയാൽ, സോ പക്ഷികൾക്കോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നായ്ക്കോ പൂച്ചയ്ക്കോ ഒക്കെ കടന്നു വരാം. So we will immediately patch it, repair it with someone. If we can repair ourselves, we will do it. Otherwise, we will repair it from some other help. So whenever there is a system which is actually trying to get വിളിക്കാത്ത അതിഥികൾ വൈറസ് ഒക്കെ വരുമ്പോൾ, we will be trying to block that entry. So നമ്മുടെ ഡോറുകളെല്ലാം പോർട്ട് ഓഫ് എൻട്രി ആണ്. ഡോറോ വിൻഡോ വെന്റിലേറ്ററോ കൊതുകിനടിക്കുന്ന നെറ്റുകൾ അതെല്ലാം പോർട്ടാണ്, നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലേക്കുള്ള പോർട്ട്. നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്തേക്കുള്ള പോർട്ടുകളാണ് സീ പോർട്ട്, എയർപോർട്ട് എന്നെല്ലാം പറയുന്നത്. സോ നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലേക്കുള്ള പോർട്ട് പോലെ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിനും to enter a floppy disk ഇടുന്ന പോർട്ട്, USB കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന പോർട്ട്, കീബോർഡും മൗസും കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന, മോണിറ്റർ കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന, there are different port of entry for the computer also. In practical, there are 65,000 ports inside a computer. That means 65,000 different way. Email ഒരു പോർട്ട് ഉണ്ട്, നിങ്ങൾ ഇന്റർനെറ്റ് ബ്രൗസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ വേറൊരു പോർട്ടാണ്, നിങ്ങളുടെ ഓഫീസിലേക്ക് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ വേറൊരു പോർട്ടാണ്, നിങ്ങൾ USB സ്റ്റിക്ക് ഉപയോഗിക്കുമ്പോൾ വേറൊരു പോർട്ടാണ്, നിങ്ങൾ നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ കെ ഫോണിന്റെ എല്ലാം ISP പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് കേബിളിലൂടെ അത് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, വൈഫൈ കേബിൾ ആന്റിനയിലൂടെ അത് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ it will be using different ports. There are 65,000 ports. And if these ports are damaged, like our door lock or door adigal lock, the company which is creating it, like Microsoft or Apple or Adobe, they will immediately try to repair it. The moment they found that there is a hole, there is a patch, we have to patch it, repair it, they will immediately find it out. Then they will send you, oh, an update is available, patch it. So whenever there is an update available, patch your phone or patch your computer immediately. And especially with antivirus programs, do automatic patching. You don't have to wait for you to click and update, so it will automatically update it because it is very sensitive. You cannot wait for a day. So, but there is an issue here for patching. I have to say that, especially in India, when we buy a computer, to save some money, we normally buy pirated softwares. So what happened is, these ports, like our doors or windows, these ports are permanently damaged for a patched, pirated software or jailbroken or rooted mobile phones. So if you are using a jailbroken, you cannot patch it properly. If you are using a pirated software, you may be saving 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, but you will be losing 100,000 or 200,000. Use your brilliance. It may be an initial cost you will be saving, but don't use pirated software. Don't encourage anyone else to use the pirated software. And pass this message. You will be in very danger if you are using a pirated software or jailbroken or rooted mobile phones. So another way of protecting it after patching and all that is like enable parental control. നമ്മളെല്ലാം വീഡിയോ ഗെയിം കളിക്കുന്നവരായിരിക്കും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ വൈഫൈ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നവരായിരിക്കും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ സോഷ്യൽ സൈറ്റിലൊക്കെ പോകുന്നവരായിരിക്കും. വേർ എവർ ചിൽഡ്രൻ ആർ യൂസിങ്, യങ്സ്റ്റേഴ്സ് ആർ യൂസിങ്, enable parental control for them. You have to help them to enable it, and it is very important when you are using a gaming console, social media, or Wi-Fi routers, and also enable safe search. I don't know how many of you are enabling that. Safe search is like, suppose we are searching unwanted contents like porn on Google, or you are searching for some dangerous contents, how to make a bomb or something, or you wanted to join in a bad group, bad community group, a terrorist group in Allah. So you wanted to search for any dangerous content or any unwanted content. There is an automatic block available for Google, Yahoo, or QKerala. The recent browser is coming into Kerala, QKerala.com. There is a safe search enable. If you haven't enabled it, go and do it now. So it will safeguard ourselves. And then another point is act wisely. So we have a technical term called Internet of Things. It is nothing but different things like mobile phone, smartphone, smart TV, smart plug, and all that connecting to internet. That is called Internet of Things. Even Tesla car, driverless car is a Internet of Things. So we have so many Internet of Things, our Wi-Fi router and all. It all comes with a default password and our Bluetooth default pairing pin. Isn't it? Suppose I'm using an iPhone and I am pairing my iPhone to transfer some file into another phone or mirror my screen into my bigger TV and all that. So I may be using the default Bluetooth password pairing pin. But if I Google it, what is iPhone 13's default pairing pin? I will get that. So if you are not there near that phone, a 10-meter range, they can come and connect it, they can take the files out, or they can use that phone for something else. So don't give any chance. So when you are getting a default password for a wireless router or any Internet of Things, whether it is a TV or smart speaker or a smartphone, change the default password. You may be sticking on putting an SSID and Wi-Fi passwords, a strong one, but if the default password is not changed for the router, your neighbor can get into that router and create another network. So don't allow that. So another thing is, even though we put all those things, there is no guarantee that we are protected. There is still chance. Cyber criminals are there. There is a big threat still available. So do we get external support? Like, is government have got some responsibility? Yes, we do. And police have got some responsibility. So if you lose a phone, what you will do? Go to a police station? No, there is a better way. You can definitely go to police station. You can put multiple layer of compliance, but there is nothing wrong in it. So if you find a child abuse case, sexual abuse, how do you do that? How do you act on that? Or if you find any cyber security incident, how do you act on that? So Manoj Abraham, IPS police officer, started the Cyberdome. I don't know whether he is still continuing, because recently his position was changed. I don't know, he's still on the top of that organization. Cyberdome or organization. Since you are with a government organization, you may be able to find it out, cyberdome.kerala.gov.in, where you can log in or just give all your details. If you lose your phone, if you find any child abuse cases, or if you find any cyber incidents, you have to report it immediately. You can call Manoj Abraham. I will share his phone number also. It is there on the slide. And other than the Kerala government, you can escalate it to your boss. You can ask your boss for support. You can ask police or any government agencies for support. And if you want to get support from central government, there is a computer emergency response team run by central government. It is called CERT, Computer Emergency Response Team, CERT. So there is a website for CERT, CERT team, and also there is a cybercrime.gov.in. There is another site where you can log in and give all the details possible, whatever evidence you have, and when it happened, all the logs, all the alerts, you share it with them. You will definitely get help, and it is a really good area to start with if you have any problem. Great. Then, with all this information, this is my favorite slide I was mentioning, we can be a cyber police. So, I would say from this moment onwards, we are all cyber police. What is cyber policing? How do we do that? We have a responsibility to our family to protect them, isn't it? From like our home protection, our economic finance protection, jewelry protection, bacteria protection at home, we have a protection, we have a responsibility to protect our content, data, our privacy in IT system also. That's our responsibility. And we are all cyber police. I'll give you some idea about what are the things you have to remember when you become a cyber police and you practice it and then you share it with your relatives or friends. The very first point is, in any security, the bottom line is, or rule of the thumb, the most important point is human safety. Very first thing is, if there is an alert or any problem, first think about human safety. Human safety is the most important thing. Then, look at, for any webinars or seminars, you find a camera or a mic on a phone or a laptop which is open and which is connected to an internet. Think about that zero trust. No, I won't trust it. Someone else is listening. Someone else is watching me. Always think that. Always look with a caution. Never trust. When you are typing your PIN number on your phone, look 360 degree. Criminals are very well trusted, like us, one among us. It is there in our home. Unfortunately, it is there in our friends. So they will be looking at you. So if at all you are watching, someone is watching, just turn around and type your password or PIN number. And if you are coming out of the screen, they will say that log off the screen and go. Or shut down the computer and go. But if you are going for 5 seconds or more, lock the screen and go. And make sure, like when you are typing the password, no one is surfing through the shoulder and finding out, or no recording cameras behind you which is taking your PIN number when you are on an ATM, or your password, or you are typing, you are unlocking the screen from your phone. So another thing for cyber policing is, whenever we wanted to say some complaint, like we are putting it in Cyberdome some complaint, how do you justify your complaint? You need to prove, you need evidence. So if you are okay to record something, if you are okay to record a voice or record a video or get some if it is possible, if you are safer, you have to justify your complaint with some evidence. So always think to get some evidence. For example, if you find a debit card or a credit card on a road and you wanted to hand over it into the bank, how do you make sure that you hand it over to the right person? You take a picture of that and ask that person's name. That is an evidence. So think about that and never trust anyone, and look for evidence to justify your support and what we can do. So this is a very important point. When you are in an office environment, like in your head office, KSITL, or your branch office, on a lift or a nearby shop, you see one of your colleagues is talking to someone, and he is discussing some sensitive data about the dates of your projects or price of your tender, e-tender or something, some sensitive data. What you will do? Or, as I mentioned before, you are walking through a road and you found a debit card or credit card on the street. What you will do? And if you go to a photocopying center, you are asking for a photocopy of your passport or a driving license. And he found that first copy is bad and he waste bin. That's your data. What you will do? Or you go to a printer in your office. You see a dustbin next to the printer with full of paper in it. That's full of data. How do you react on that? Or you transfer your money through online transfer. You put a wrong IFSC code and wrong account number. Or even you have your beneficiaries with the same name, Nair, or same surname, like that. You put it into a wrong Nair. How do you get the money back? And what is the process? And like, suppose you get a scam, like, oh, Amazon is giving so much of free things. Oh, just click here and join it, or you're getting free gift. Or, oh, Cashew Net or Badam. Oh, it is 1,000 rupees normal price. I'm available. It's available 250. Click here. People will click it. What is the best way to do that? So these are some of the things you have to think about that. I will explain that one by one. Again, take a minute each. So if you are in a lift or a common area in a coffee shop nearby your office, and you see one of your colleagues is talking some sensitive information to someone, there is a caution here. That someone may be a senior officer which you don't know, you are not familiar, or someone may be a politician or someone a higher officer come to know recently, took charge, or a complete stranger. The best thing you can do is do not, make them aware that you are interfering. Nicely, if possible, interfere them and them move away from that topic. So you interfere if possible, or hello to your colleague, and try to move away from that subject and try to save that situation, if you are safe, and then report to his line manager whatever you have found and whatever you have had with evidence. So this is the right thing you can do. In the same way, if you found a debit card or credit card on the road, how do you do that? You can ignore it and go, isn't it? Or you can take a video and put it into Facebook and say that, oh, I found this debit card, my contact number is this, my address is this, those who know the owner of this person, please come to me. No, that's not the right thing. Can you escalate it to your police officer? Yes, you can do that. Or get into the nearest bank and hand it over, then take some evidence, ask the name of the person you are handing over. Or if you cannot do any of those things, don't leave that card. Think that if it is your card, take the card, cut it and destroy it so that it will not reach into the wrong hand. That is, at least you can do that. So that if the person comes to know that his card is stolen or gone, he will cancel that, he will get time, so it will not reach into the wrong hand. The same way, if you are seeing a photocopier center, you are asking for a photocopy of your driving license or your passport, any sensitive data, your children's birth certificate or something, or your degree certificate, and he say that, oh, adu kedai sare ennu orate waste bin littal. Politely ask him, can I get that copy also which you thrown? I'm ready to pay for that if you want, but can I get that? Do not leave your data there. The same way, if you are in your office and a printer, there are so much of printer, unwanted printing is there in the dustbin there. That is a threat that you cannot allow them. Think that, ask your company to remove that and put a shredder there at least. And they have to make sure it is a shredder you are putting it, or you have to remove that dustbin from that place completely. Do not leave any dustbin, because these cleaners and other people can come and grab that data. It is very valuable data. So the same way, like if you are transferring the money into a wrong account, suppose I know that one of my friends recently transferred 10 lakhs rupees to another Nair, and it was in the middle of the night, March 31st. So he got panicked and he called the second Nair, the person who, without knowledge he received the money. And that guy is now hesitant to give back the money. So that is a wrong thing. If you lose the money into a wrong account, a NEFT or RTGS way, you type in your beneficiary wrongly or you give the money into that, the very first thing is do not contact the other person. There is a system for that. You have to contact your bank first with evidence, with some screenshot, with the proof, time, log files. Like what time you did it, when did you, to whom you did it, all the details you give to bank and ask your bank to contact the beneficiary bank. And then they will sort it out. It may take time, but that is the right channel. So, the same way like, the last option I'm saying like badam or cashew lam valare price koravinu kittunnu, or allengil internet, or you are offering a job, 20 lakh salary per month, and they very firstly think that, is it possible to get a 1000 rupiyulla oru cashew nut nu 250 രൂപയ്ക്ക് തരാൻ? Is it possible? If it is a plastic one, it may be possible. If it is a real one, it is very unlikely. So if you have a doubt, do not entertain that. Maybe they may be either selling you a bad product, or they may be taking your money and it will not be get delivered. This happened to so many people. Do not follow that and check that address, that website, and Google it for the review. Then you will immediately know that I lost it. Then don't encourage that. So be practical about that and put your cyber police cap on that whenever you find something like that, and help them and talk to them. And then there are some local laws we have to understand. Like someone was asking, like, can I create a fake profile in Facebook or Instagram? Is it an offense? Is it a punishable offense? It is. How much it is? How much punishment you will get it? I'll give you some idea. If you spoil a laptop or a computer as a proof, we know that ഒരു സിനിമാ നടന്റെ ഒരു നടിയുടെ വീഡിയോ എടുത്തതിനെ പറ്റി ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് വെരി ഫേമസ് ഇൻ കേരള, isn't it? Like for last so many months or years. So if you spoil a phone or a computer with proof, that offense is all the criminal laws or additional to criminal laws or any civil laws, IT law പ്രകാരം, Indian IT law പ്രകാരം 1 കോടി രൂപ പെനാലിറ്റി കിട്ടുന്ന ഒരു മിസ്റ്റേക്ക് ആണത്. So never try to spoil your any proof or evidence. And if you try to steal an official document from office without permission, 3 വർഷത്തെ കഠിന തടവും 2 ലക്ഷം രൂപയാണ് പിഴ. If you share your photo without permission, 3 വർഷത്തെ കഠിന തടവും 2 ലക്ഷം രൂപയാണ് പിഴ. And this is very important thing. If you talk asleelam, you talk wrong things over the phone or through a chat box, it will give you 5 years imprisonment and up to 10 lakhs fine. And if that is a youngster you are talking and you are giving that will spoil you more. That penalty will be up to 7 years. And if you get a fake profile in any of the social sites, like fake profile in Facebook or Instagram, 3 years imprisonment and 1 year, 1 lakh rupees fine. And also, if it is a personal identifiable, without permission, if I am sharing Sabina's or Ansaj's email address, phone number, without their consent, without their written permission, if I am sharing it, that is also a punishable offense. And it depends on what situation, what is the age of the person, and what is the impact of that. Accordingly, you will get penalized. So never try to do that. Take responsibility. When you're sharing an image on a WhatsApp, think twice. When you're sharing an image on your Facebook or Instagram, are you taking ownership? You have to take ownership. Are you looking at it twice, thrice and thinking about that? Is it really worth sharing it? If doubt, never do that. Data and privacy is the most important. That is where the web security is coming up, and that is where we are now as a cyber police. So I think we are about to conclude that. I just wanted to brief what the points we discussed so far. So we started discussing about finding out, Googling things and discussing with friends and family members, colleagues, and learn about that. Then practice it, share it. Then started talking about it, and whenever we see a mic or a camera or anything connected to internet, think twice and do not trust. Zero trust policy applies, and always be doubtful. And password is our strength, and public Wi-Fi is a pain. Use only with the VPN. And whenever there is an update or a patch available, immediately patch it, and never use pirated software, never encourage it, or jailbroken mobile phones. And whenever we act like a cyber police, it's our responsibility to protect our community, protect our family, protect our job. We have to keep evidence, and we have to act wisely, and human security is the most important. And take ownership of any messages you are sending, forwarding. And now you have to do one more thing. Every office will have a cybersecurity strategy. If not, you have to create it, a policy and an NDA. I wanted to discuss about NDA, that is non-disclosure agreement. Like, you are not supposed to disclose. It is a legal agreement to protect trade secrets or confidential information. So when you are talking to Facebook or people or and third-party contractor, what all things you can talk, what all things you cannot talk. Find out what is your non-disclosure agreement. You are liable for that. You have signed it. If you get an appointment order, there will be a line in that. You have to return your materials when you resign and go. You are not supposed to share any trade secrets or any confidential information. That is an NDA. And when you are getting new third parties, you always make sure like you have to sign an NDA with them. And then if you are interested in career, like your family members or your children or your brothers or sisters. There are a lot of vacancies in this area, and there are so much of you can get, and currently more than 1 million vacancies in cybersecurity alone in UK. So there is plenty of 350,000 vacancies in US. So in Kerala also, there is a cyber dome in the student police cadet.org in or site, and where they are actually teaching the students about cyber policing side and how to become a cyber police and how to become get against cyber criminals threat, how to deal with the threats and how to eliminate risk or how to manage risk. All those things are very nicely teaching. So spread this news and if possible join them. And Cyberdome will also, you can go be a volunteer, you can contribute, you can add them. I given all my details and is trying to join them. So I have given and I'm waiting for their reply. And then whenever you find any cyber incidents or a child sex abuse case or a losing a mobile phone or a content, report it. If you find a 1 rupee difference in your salary or 1 rupee difference in your bank statement, report it immediately, because criminals are not looking for even 1 rupee, 1 paise. They will expand the scope and they will get millions of people to pay that. No one will notice it. So that is how criminals are working. They are brilliant. So don't allow them. And all these things are, we have to create a strategy for our home, strategy for our community and for our office. And the goal of cybersecurity is to minimize the impact, monetary loss, reduce that one, safeguard our values, safeguard our reputation, and make sure like all this data security is everyone's responsibility, not your line managers, not your boss, or not IT departments. Data security is everyone's responsibility, and expect to be breached so that you will not get that pain. And know your enemy. These are some of the keywords. And whenever you get to know about that, share this information and discuss this information, and we will all be a better day tomorrow. Thank you very much for listening.